Today I'm going to share with you my top 6 favorite exercises for correcting poor shoulder posture. What's going on, guys? Blake here with GuerrillaZen Fitness. These exercises I'm going to show you today are not customized for your body, okay? If you're looking for customized exercises to improve your posture, your muscle imbalances, this is what I do as a coach. So open up that description down below and click coaching. All right, now that we got that out of the way, here are my top 6 favorite exercises to combat the most common muscle imbalances that we see in people's poor shoulder posture. What pretty much all of these exercises have in common is they target the scapular retractors. The scapular retractors are the muscles of the upper back, more specifically in between the shoulder blades that pinch the shoulder blades together. And most people that have poor posture, which is characterized oftentimes by anterior rotation of the shoulders being kind of slumped forwards, and internal rotation, okay? Most people, when they talk about having poor posture, they have this going on. Frontal rotation of the arm and internal rotation, okay? Part of what needs to be combated when you have this going on, in tandem with stretching out the pecs, is strengthening the external rotators of the shoulder and these scapular retractors, okay? Like I said, all of today's exercises are gonna focus on the scapular retractors. The first one here, I showed a version of this on my shorts recently. This is kind of a hybrid exercise. I call these wall-assisted scapular retractions, okay? I showed a different version of this on my shorts, but I like this version actually better. So you start by leaning against a wall on your toes like this, okay? It's important that you're up on your toes because that's gonna allow you to pivot, which is important. So get up on your toes, lace your fingers behind your head like this, okay? Elbows flush flat against the wall. Staying in this position the whole time, keeping your neck contracted, kind of retracted I should say, push back into your hands with the chin down. What I want you to do is pull your elbows together and pinch your shoulder blades together so hard that it causes you to lift away from the wall a little bit and then return back, okay? This is why it's important to be on the toes. We can pivot on the ball of the foot when we push ourselves forwards, squeezing that upper back really hard each time you do this, and it's the activation of those upper back muscles, okay? Middle traps, rhomboids, lower traps. This region in here, it's contracting those muscles and pinching your shoulder blades together. That's actually kind of lifting you off the wall an inch or so, all right? That's how you do that. You can do that one for 4 sets of 15 reps. That's an amazing exercise and one that I've been experimenting with a lot recently. This next exercise I call a wall press regression. More specifically, this is a regression that I'll oftentimes use for my online coaching clients if doing a wall press, which I've shown in past videos, is too challenging. This is a way to do the wall press a lot easier. It's easier to actually maintain a neutral spine when you're doing this. There's a lot of advantages and ways in which this is easier, and it can be considered a regression to the standard wall press, okay? But what you're gonna do, you're gonna lay flat on your back, like this, knees bent, feet planted flat on the floor. You're gonna get your arms and bring them flat to the ground here, okay? The goal is to keep your tailbone, your upper back, and the back of your head all in contact with the floor. Also, do your best to keep your kind of delts, your elbow, and your wrists plastered to the floor as well. Everything stays in contact with the floor. You press the arms overhead, allow them to go all the way up, and allow the thumbs to converge over the crown of your head, and then bring them back down, okay, to here. Don't go super down, like too deep like this, okay? Stop here where it kind of feels comfortable. Press up, keeping everything in contact with the floor. Let the thumbs converge above the crown of the head, and then come back, okay? A couple things that we don't want to have happening here. Extensive extension of the lower back. Don't be arching the lower back off the ground, okay? Try to keep your arms on the ground too, okay? The elbows and the wrists might want to pop off. Try to do your best to keep them all in contact with the ground as you're doing this exercise, okay? That is going to ensure that you're getting a ton of activation in those scapular retractors, your upper back muscles, and you should really feel them work a lot during this. If you're finding this difficult to do without lifting up those points of contact, try stretching and releasing the pecs and the hip flexors. That can help basically allow you to keep everything kind of glued to the floor as you do this. If you're looking for a progression to this, remember this is actually a regression. If this is easy for you and you want to make it more challenging, then sit against a wall, all right, and do this sliding your arms up and down the wall behind you instead. Like I said, that is a lot more challenging, and that will really expose a lot of the imbalances and mobility issues that you have going on. But if this one's too easy, you can go ahead and do that one. I like to do this for at least 2 sets of 20 reps. This next exercise I just call a prone press to a Y raise. Okay, prone press to Y raise. The way that you do this, you're going to start prone, all right, on your belly here, like this. You're going to start with your arms out here, kind of like, imagine like, almost like a goal post, okay? Kind of strive for a 90-degree bend in the ankle, or in the elbow, a 90-degree intersection of the humerus with your torso here. Okay, so right angles. Think of kind of like a goal post, like I said. You're going to press out like you're going to a capital Y, and then lift up, and then lower back down, and then return to the starting position. Okay? If you have a lot of forward head posture, you might want to keep your chin tucked and kind of push back when you're doing this. Don't lift the chin up like this too much. So keep the tongue, keep the chin tucked, head pushed up, straight line on the back of the spine. Press out to a Y, lift up, and then return back to starting position. Okay? That is really good for isolating the lower traps. If you're feeling this a ton in your upper trapezius, up in here, you're probably shrugging your shoulders up when you do this. So plug the shoulder blades down the back. Keep them depressed down. The shoulder blades pulled down as you do this exercise. These next two I've showed before in past videos, but they're pretty much gold standard exercises for combating these muscle imbalances that we're talking about, too much overactivity of the pecs, general weakness of the upper back. These are band pull-aparts, the first exercise I'm going to show you. So get a resistance band. It can be any kind of resistance band, doesn't really matter. You're going to stand with your feet shoulder width apart. You're going to grab the band approximately shoulder width apart as well. Hold it out at chest level. With a braced core, okay, your abs squeezed tight, your glutes engaged, making sure that we're not in forward head posture position, okay? None of this. With a braced core, abs engaged like you're anticipating a punch to the gut. Keep them tight. Keep the glutes tight. Keep the head on top of the rib cage, ribs on top of the hips. You're going to pull right until the band touches your chest, and then you're going to come back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together the whole time as you do this. All right? And that's it. It's pretty simple. Really focus on giving those shoulder blades a good squeeze, a good pinch together. Make sure that you're not pushing your head forwards like this every rep that we do, and make sure that you're bracing the core, right? You're tight here like you're anticipating a gut punch, and you just keep that whole area tight. Remember, neurons that fire together wire together. If you train with good posture and good positioning, you reinforce that, okay? So we want to be mindful of these other areas, not just the shoulders when we're doing this. Again, it just looks like this. Try to keep your shoulders level. Don't go back further than what is necessary, okay? Stop as soon as that band touches the chest. For this, you can do 2 sets of 20 reps. This next one is similar to band pull-aparts. You might even call them diagonal band pull-aparts. I call them sword pulls. I've heard many different names for it. Basically, it's kind of the same motion as what we just did. All the same principles apply where you're bracing your core, being mindful of the head, engaging the glutes. But instead of pulling, what is effectively horizontally like this, okay, we're going to pull diagonally like this, okay? This kind of helps to get the lower trap fibers, and this helps, throwing in different angles like this helps train all of the trapezius muscle fibers from different angles, and it recruits different areas of the trapezius. So this is, changing this up and not just doing regular band pull parts all the time like this, throwing in this, horizontal load vector, which is the direction in which the resistance is coming from, is a good way to make sure that you're training all of your trapezius fibers kind of in a more balanced way. And for this, I would recommend, somewhere between 2 sets of 10 to 20 reps each side. All right, so this last exercise is called a face pull. All right, there's many ways that you can do this. Sorry for this awkward setup, by the way. I don't have a lot of space in this area, and this is the only door that I can really mount this thing to. As you can see, I've already mounted other things to this door frame here. But with a resistance band, you can either wrap this around a machine or just anchor it to a wall with like a door frame anchor, like what I have here. If you're in a gym, you can just wrap this around a Smith machine or something like that. Basically, loop a resistance band around something stable, step away from it. You want this anchor to be about approximately eye level, okay? You're gonna step away from it so that there's tension on the band, and then you're just going to pull in level with your eyes and let it come back, okay? So your hands, when you're ending here, should be about level with your eyes, okay? You want to keep them kind of high up like that because that gets a little bit more external rotation, that twisting out of the humerus, which we want at the end of this motion here. Okay, so squeeze the shoulder blades together and kind of pull the hands in towards the face at approximately eye level. You should kind of end right here, all right? That gets a lot of external rotation of the shoulder. Keep those other things that we talked about in mind when it comes to this exercise too. No pushing the head forwards, keep the glutes engaged and the core engaged as you're doing this motion, but it's basically this motion here, okay? We're getting that scapular retraction, pinching the shoulder blades together, and we're getting a little bit of external rotation of the humerus, the arm bone. So we're hitting those rotator cuff muscles as well. This is a really good movement. You know, all 6 of these are good ones. But for this one, you should shoot also for about 2 sets of 20 all the way up to like 40 reps. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did and you want more posture correction routines to do at home, ones that don't just focus on the shoulder but the whole body, then you're really gonna like my free ebook, Posture, the Ultimate Life Hack. This is basically a follow at home guide where I teach you how to improve your posture at home, all right, using corrective exercise. So if you wanna get that, open up the description down below, click the first link available at the top there. Okay, that will say Posture, the Ultimate Life Hack. Click that, that'll take you over to my website. As soon as you get there, I'll send you a copy of that guide within 5 minutes. If you're looking for another spot to get that guide, you can go ahead and click that button over there. That will take you to that same page on my website. If you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do that up here. I upload here every week. And if you want to see another video similar to today's video, check this out over here. And that is it for today. I'll see you next time.